Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for coming and welcome to the Garden Quilt and Art Show. I appreciate each and every one of you. Sissy Joanne Stevens, you were here bright and early, and as well as Maria Graham. Don't forget to give the thumbs up button, you guys. As a matter of fact, I need to go in and pull it up so I can give a thumbs up button too. It helps the algorithm and will help me reach more people and teach more people some of the things that I have learned in the last 77 years. So, garden. The domain name is GQuat Traditions, but nobody knows what a GQuat is, so I call it the Garden Quilt and Art Show. So, let me pull her up and do a thumbs up here. Okay, live. Today we're going to be sewing rice/bean bags. Live. It's not letting me pull it up yet, so I guess it's not live on YouTube yet. Something. I know there's a delay. Live. This thing drives me crazy. So maybe I'll come back. Hey, Mike. I see people seeing Mike. So, and I appreciate those of you watching the ads because that helps the channel to grow. And I'm repeating it, I know, and helps me reach more people. I talked to a couple of people today and either talked to them or chatted with them or something. Hey, Juanita Campbell, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Unbiased LLC. Hey, granddaughter, glad to see you here. I'm still in my own ads. So, yeah, gave myself a thumbs up, and there are 8 of us in here right now. K. Renee's Garden, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I've been giving you the thumbs up and see you on your workout journey because it's not a challenge. You're doing a lot of things every day, and I'm proud of you. Vintage Style by Joe. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you. And for those of you who are content creators, type an exclamation mark GQUAT like you see in the left hand corner of your screen, and you will be able to connect with others that you don't know. You're welcome, K. Renee's Garden. You know, since they started with all the shorts and everybody's trying to do what we can do to promote our channel, I think the most that a lot of us can do when they pop up automatically is give the thumbs up. But once you give the thumbs up, when you're looking to promote another channel, you don't know whether it's one you've already seen or not, and you take your time trying to just do the best that you can. Donzel Cooper, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me drop your channel link, GQUAT, and hopefully Nightbot will be working tonight. And so let's go. I go through a little format when I start, and I try to talk about something in the gardening, quilting, and other arts, some of the traditions, and then do some type of a creative art or craft on Thursdays. Saturdays lately, I've been cooking, And while I'm talking about that, there is a challenge going on. This will be a giveaway on Saturday. So you only have 2 more days, you guys. All you have to do is cook something in a skillet, preferably an iron skillet, but I didn't say that, so it can be any kind of a skillet. And put hashtag, let me put this in here. Put hashtag skillet challenge 2025. Hashtag SKILLETCHALLENGE 2025. Yeah, there we go. So, and let me know so that I can put your name in. So right now there are only five names in here to get this, and they are Mona Soil, Lorraine T, Joanne Stevens, Maria Graham, and Passionately Intrigued Art. Thank you, Donzel Cooper. You are so supportive, and I appreciate you. You all are. Patty's Kitchen and Garden and more. Hello, sis. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. So, Miss Patty, I don't know if you heard the challenge. We will be doing a drawing this Saturday. You just have to bake something. You cook every day, Miss Patty. So, cook something in a skillet. I've been baking every Saturday. I have some quick recipes for cornbread, um, what is it? Cookies, bread, different breads. This Saturday coming up, I will be cooking a zucchini nut bread, and everybody's speaking. So this is a double-sided, very thick hot pad, but what it is a piece of crocheted fabric, and it started out at a 2.5 inch piece. I cut that in half lengthwise. So that made it an inch and a quarter, and I crocheted it. Didn't have enough to make it the size I wanted. So then I crocheted this little fringy thing around it. Let me put this down a little bit so I don't have to hold my sad little shoulders up. I have rotator cuff issues, and my arms get so tired. Feel like I've been working in a coal mine all day. So you guys, I have so many family birthdays in February and March, and today's the 27th of March, and it's my daddy's heavenly 98th birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday, Daddy. And in his honor, I wear it a lot. But this big old watch that I wear, this was my dad's everyday watch after he retired. He didn't wear a watch when he was working because he worked in construction and with his hands. And those of you who work in the trades, like the skilled trades, carpenters, electricians, you can't have rings and what. Well, that's why he never wore a wedding ring anyway. But I digress. He didn't wear a watch. And then I think like in about the year 2000, I started breeding Cane Corso Italian Mastiff puppies. And one of my clients was an executive at Swiss Army, and he got half off the whole entire catalog. So I invested in getting my mom, my dad, my son, myself, and a significant other a watch. Mine was a lady's watch. I like this big old man's watch, and I like it because this is what I have left of my daddy. And when I got older, I moved back home. Um, Before I bought that house that I just told you about, I moved home with my parents in 1997 for a couple of years. And what did I do? I don't know. I was doing a bunch of things, But oh, when I would come home from work, we always ate dinner as a family. So I would be there with mommy and daddy and me. Some of you have heard this story before. And when you can tell that you're getting old, hey, Nancy, our treasured home, thanks for coming and welcome in. When you can tell you're becoming an elder is when you, your mom, and dad are sitting at the breakfast counter. It was like a sit down one the size of a table, and you have your baskets of medicine there, and Joanne Stevens is saying, "Happy birthday, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy," and all of you are taking the same medicine. But I would come home from work. Sometimes I would go to the gym. Sometimes I would go to the Bible study first. And he would be looking at this watch when I walked in the door because I was late. Maria Graham is saying, "Happy heavenly birthday, Daddy, Dad. I will call you, Mother." I go, "Amote, I love you. I will call you after the live, Mommy." Kay Renee's Garden is saying, "Happy birthday." I am the eldest of six, the spoiledest of six. I was a real daddy's girl. Speaking of which, I want to tell you something. Daddy and mommy were very young when they got married. And so they didn't have, and they had six kids by the time she was 27. So they didn't have a lot of money for extra things, but the kids, we got everything we wanted. Auntie Joanne and I still have twin sewing machines that we received in high school, state of the art sewing machines, even to this day. They're still in at the house, at mommy's house, up on the third floor, and I will be picking one of them up. Miss Patty says, "Fond memories of your daddy." Yes, and Daddy had hand tools like his drill. I don't know if you've ever seen, was a drill like a rotary egg beater, and you roll it by hand like this. His clippers, when he used to do my brother's hair in between barbershop appointments, were little clippers in a little box that you do by hand. Or maybe he trimmed the edges of his own hair. I don't know. But I would go in his tools. I was always trying to make go-karts. I was always trying to saw something. We had a hand saw, and I would always be in Daddy's tools, his nails, his toolbox, doing something. But it carried on to this date, and I want to show you one of the traditions, something I made. Oh, well, does anybody know what this is? Put a one in the chapter, or put a one in the chapter if you know what it is. This is what it looks like sideways. What it is a ruler stand, and I made it my own self. This is one of my triangular quilting rulers. This is another one. And what I did is I have electrical tools. I have the DeWalt drill, all the bits and things. Sissy, I still have the Dremel that you bought me too, the Dremel set. And what I did was, when I lived in North Carolina on the homestead, I would take a community college course every semester. Why? So that I could do the woodworking shop and use all their state of the art, millions of dollars worth of tools for free. And something I was working on, and I had this really nice piece of wood. So I took it and used a router, and I put one, two, three, four, five, 10 lines in it, and it would hold 10 of the small rulers. Or if you had longer rulers, they would just stick out by the side. And I just love the feel of wood. Just like I love the feel of good fabric, I love to touch good wood and furniture and things like that. So yeah, I made this, and the night that my dad passed, and I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to be a wuss. I was in wood shop, And the wood shop was on Thursday night. I still have the tradition of doing arts and craft class on Thursdays. And it, I went to the class, and you have all these machines. They're loud, loud, loud. And Auntie Joanne was there because Daddy passed in the hospital after surgery in Connecticut. And when we turned all the machines off and I took off my headphones, I had about 20 missed calls. So I'm like, what is going on? The family always contacts each other if there's an emergency. So I called home, and I called the hospital, and I talked to my sister, and she was in the hospital, and I sang him a little song. They said that he couldn't hear me, but I'll tell you what I sang for it. L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one for me. V, you're very special. E, extraordinary. Love was made for you and me. Yep, yep, yep. Go hard, Dad. Meet you at the pearly gates in about 25 years. That's when I decided I'm going to live to be 101. Oh, wait a minute. That is about 25, 26 more years because I'm almost 77. Frugal Mama. If I didn't say hello, 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 you can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. So I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at what I want to tell you guys next. And I forget who I said hi to. And it's funny. Kay Renee can tell you, you have everything planned, you have notes. Of course, when you're doing a live stream, Murphy's Law goes into effect. What is Murphy's Law? It's an old saying, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. So you're trying to fix that and correct that. So that was just that was a part of tradition and family history. But now I want to talk for like 3 seconds about gardening. So I got some mail that I ordered myself from Amazon, and I really wanted some butterfly bush seeds on the homestead in North Carolina. Oh, my shoulder really hurts. My on the homestead in North Carolina, I had so many butterfly bushes. I had like 50s, 100 every spring. Francesca, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you. I saw y'all. I know it was Yankee Sisters chat. I saw you and brother nephew Anthony when I finally got in this morning. So I got some seeds from this place. I'm not going to badmouth them because life happens. And it's a place called Seedville, USA. And the butterfly bushes I had in North Carolina, every spring I would have so many. I would give everybody in my quilting groups, everybody in shop, all the things, uh, bunches of purple butterfly bushes, the babies. And then I threw some in the back by this. We had a rock pile that had like the rocks that look like granite or marble. It wasn't. Francesca Scan saying hello to everybody. And they had all these sparkly white crystals in there. And all among these white crystals would be all these dark purple butterflies. So, butterfly bushes, rather. So, I ordered some butterfly bushes, and they said that there would be 50 in the pack. Lord, these are tiny seeds. But can you all see this? Does that look like 50 seeds to you? That does not look like 50 50 seeds. No way, no how. No way, no how. So I called Amazon, and I was going to send this back and tell them to send me another pack, but they told me to keep them. So I will just use the paper towel method since they're so fine, the ones that are here, and I will start them in an envelope and see what I get. to see what I get. By the way, you guys, I have all my planter herbs planted. I've got about 20 different herbs planted. I did a short video. PIA said hello, checked. Hey, PIA. Thanks for calling. Oh, you're talking about your. We know how to speak. Auto check. Oh, so let me put this over here because I don't want to lose a little bit. So I will plant some of these and share the seedlings once they pop up. So I say garden quilt. So I want to show you something. And by the way, I will be selling some small quilts soon, including the one in back of me, the panel of the world. That one will be for sale. Not this one. How? Oh, of course something had to fall. But the little twister quilt up in the corner with the spring bouquet above. That's a wood burning of my dad down below. And you can see it. So the top quilt was made by sewing a bunch of 5-inch. Moda is one of the finer fabric designers, and I had a charm pack. A charm pack is 5-inch squares, and there are either 30 or 40 squares in there, and you sew them together. And I kind of sewed them in the pattern that I wanted this wreath to look like. And I put black flowered fabric in the middle and some just plain black around the edges to outline it. And thank you, Maria Graham. And this ruler that I used for this one was in a 3.5-inch ruler made like each one of those pieces. Then I had to cut each one of them out and sew them back together again. It was really detailed. And I put a hanging sleeve on it because I knew that I was going to be showing it when I show my quilts. I will be doing this year. Every year I try to show or paint something and show it. There were a couple of years I missed because of health reasons. So there is a fair coming up soon. Connecticut doesn't have a state fair. North Carolina had a huge state fair. And when I was there, I never put any of my quilts in. I did put a couple quilts in some fairs that had the North Carolina Convention Center held like about 400 quilts, and I've displayed some of mine there in different places. PIA, keep your eyes on the road. So, yeah, now I've talked about the gardening, the quilting. Now we'll talk about what we're going to do tonight. Diversity Love, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Are you ready to sew with me yet? You don't need a lot of room or space. As a matter of fact, you guys, I finally bit the bullet and I don't have any money. I live on a fixed income and I spend it, and I try to save up for things that I really want. But I just want to show you something. I finally got the Cutie Breeze quilting frame that I really wanted, and I bought some bungee cords for the side to hold the quilt on top. Tonight, what we will be doing is making some weights. When you are quilting, whether you're using a long arm or one of the frames that's on the table, the Cutie, the miniature Grace frames, you need something to put tension on the top of the quilt while you're moving the sewing machine around, either with your hands or with handles. But before you get the quilt attached to the frame, usually you use leaders or something called leaders. It's a piece of fabric you add to the front or the back, or you can cut your batting and your backing extra long. But just think of it. Some of this fabric is $20 a yard. A lot of the batiks and the African fabrics that I've been using lately are at least $20, $25 each. So you figure if you've got 6 inches on this side, 6 inches on that side, that's a foot. And depending on how big your quilt is, the top and the bottom, and you can sew king size quilts on the Cutie Breeze frame, which is 48 inches. So I decided that the money I can save, I've been sending a lot of my quilts to the long armor. And somebody who was in here earlier, I can't remember the name offhand. Some of you who've been here know that those four black hampers above, I mean, underneath that big silver bowl, those are finished quilt tops. I have over 60 quilt tops of their finish, plus others in various states of unfinishedness down here. So if I invest in this piece of equipment, I can finish my own quilts and get done faster. We all have something we don't like to do, whether it's washing dishes or whatever. I can make a quilt top in no time. You guys see me start them, but finishing them, especially my show quilts that I hand stitch the backs of them. Oh boy, I dropped the ball. And of course, every quilt should have a quilt label on it. Before I go over there to show you how to make a weight, so this is this is a pack of leaders that I got. I'm going to take it out of the pack because it has my home address on it. Hey, LGGG, love, thank you. So I'm not doing it today, but I bought a canvas for those of you who have Cutie frames. The leaders, if you buy them from Grace or online, are $199. I had several sets when I had my long arm. I had two sets that I made in canvas that I could zip on. Then I had another set by Handy Quilter that I could pin on. So I will be doing this and I will show you the two different types of pins. So this drop cloth is perfect. It's 48 inches wide and 5 feet long. I will show you next week how I make the leaders, but today I'm going to show you how I make the weights. A lot of us old school quilters, before they had the cloth weights to go on there, we use cans of soup. For those of you who don't feel like it, on your frame, you and on your Cutie frames, you guys, you can put cans of soup to put tension on the top while you're guiding your long arm or your domestic machine around there, or doing your ruler work. And if quilts are wrinkled or they have lumps on them, you won't always be quilting your own quilt. And even if you are, there might be imperfections. There might be little bunches sewn into it. By putting weight on it, that straightens it out. So, where did it go? Hold on. So, I wanted to show you. Oh, here it is. This is a type of a type of weight. This one is made with rice, and a fellow quilter made this and gave it to me. And it's thin and it's long. And this is for, like, if you get headaches, you put this in the freezer, or you can heat it in the microwave. It has rice in it, and it has little weighted pieces in here. I keep this in a piece of plastic, in a sandwich bag actually, and keep it in the freezer. Well, we will be making a different kind of weight that I made up the pattern for, because I want a weight that will hold my fabric, my quilts on this small frame that I will be getting. And while I'm waiting to pin it or center it or get it situated. So let me pick up my handy dandy bell. And oh, I want to show you guys something. Auntie Joanne was in the family chat because we were wishing my dad happy birthday, doing the family stuff. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if she feels like going out. This is, how many of you love orchids? This is a full size orchid tree. That is the orchid tree in Auntie Joanne's backyard. Back in the corner is a little bush where I have a hummingbird feeder. Don't worry, the pain in the neck sister will be coming soon. And this is what the orchids look like up close on Auntie Joanne's orchid tree. And it smells amazing out there. Amazing out there. I put cotton and um, different knitting and crochet yarns, and the hummingbirds and the birds take them and they use them this type of year to build nests. So Auntie Joanne posted that in the family chat today. Auntie Joanne, is the jacaranda tree out front blooming? I don't know if you guys have seen a jacaranda tree. It's a tropical tree, like grows in places like Australia, maybe Texas, hot climates. And there's one out front of Auntie Joanne's house, and it has the most beautiful purple flowers, the most beautiful. Okay, so let's sew, and I'll show you my design for the weights that I made. And mine, before we go over there, mine will be heavy duty weights because they will weigh about a pound each to go on my quilting frame, the Cutie Breeze, and I wanted it to be heavy. I had some strips of blue jeans left from my Renaissance grandma, from Big Rooster, from my granddaughter Sharita, and they were pretty long pieces, like 24 inches. I trimmed them to 24 inches by 4.5 so that I can make a pretty wide weight. And I wanted to be able, Marie Graham said the trees are beautiful, Sissy. I wanted to be able to trim them a certain way so that the weights would be balanced on either side when I put it on my quilting frame. So I made up a pattern. I'm always making up patterns and recipes, you guys. So everybody's speaking. Pop up. Okay. I used to not be able to get up that fast. After my hip and 2 knee replacements 3 years ago, I am the titanium, not the Titanic, the titanium Nana. So let's sit down and talk about a couple of other things. Those of you who sew and you sew with thick, thick fabrics like denim, here's some seeds I didn't plant. Who'd have thunk it that I'd be saving dandelion seeds to plant all those years I spent at all the different houses I've lived in, digging with long things out, digging all of the dandelions out of the lawn, not knowing they were medicine and you can make wine, eat them, make salad, all the stuff. So I'm going to put my phone over here. Okay, there I am. So I want to show you one thing. Some of you who do carpentry know what a jig is. This is a jig used in quilting. And what is it used for? It's used when you are sewing something with different thicknesses. Like the jeans are real thick. Sometimes you use a type of quilting leader and you have a little block a little piece of fabric before you do the next one, you can actually make one of these. This is a piece of plastic that I've had for about, I don't know, whatever years. I've been sewing since Jesus rolled a stone back and got out. But this is what you use, and you put it in the front of your machine so that when the foot is sewing, it goes up and down, and that's what makes it skip stitches. If you make one of these, it could be a piece of cardboard, it could be several a thickness of plastic, but you can buy these or make them. Just some chit chat, little information that you may not know, may not know. And I already showed you Auntie Joanne's thing. I was charging my iPad so I could show you, but I think you saw it. Okay. So what are we making today? I'm going to show you the quilting weight that we're going to make, and it's a piece of denim. You can make yours any size you want. You can put beans in it. You can put anything you want in it. But me, I know I'm always dropping something, right? I'm not going to be trying to sew this under. So I zigzagged. I use zigzag scissors. They're called pinking shears, but the youngins called them zigzag shears. And I zigzag one end. And instead of me dropping rice all over the floor, I have already pre measured my rice. I made this a little less than a cup. Excuse me. A cup for the top and a cup from the bottom. A cup of rice from the bottom. And we will be making a weight that looks like this. You see, this is about a half a pound. This is a half a pound. Hey, Miss Shirley OG. I guess you heard me say about knees and hips hurting. You came in to give a sister a little backup information. And of course, I have my little cheapy label on there. That's just because this will be a set of four. And you see where I sewed the middle of this so that it will hang over the frame like this to hold my fabric in place. If you want to use one of these for for heating purposes, for health purposes, you can put it in the freezer, you can put it in the microwave, and this holds quite a bit. You can make it any length you want. You can, Miss Shirley, they're asking how you're feeling, Miss Shirley OG. Mother, Miss Shirley OG is in here, and you can make it longer. I don't need a lot of stuff hanging from my quilting frame, so I made this one 12 inches long, double sided, and I drew a line with chalk. This one I put one of my leather labels on to go with the set of them. I put a chalk line going across it because that's what I will sew on in a minute. So this will go quickly. Let me change the layout so that, okay, so that'll give you more viewing room. I'm learning how to go faster with showing you things. So, and me, this machine closes all the way. I never close it because I stick things in beside. This is just a piece of tailor's chalk that I've been using forever and ever and ever. And I just stick it down in between here, pick up these little strings. And what I'm going to do is turn this inside out and sew the two sides. So those of you who play sports, your kids play sports, you can make these bags. And of course, this denim is going to last forever, forever and ever and ever. You know, another thing that you can do if you have a hard time starting to sew on denim or something thick, you can use a stylus or anything pointy to start it in the beginning. So I'm using a straight stitch, a rather long stitch. I'm using 4 millimeters and 0 stitch width. And I'm not starting at the very edge. I'm using a 1/4 inch seam, and I'm going to sew a few stitches up, a few stitches back, and I'm making sure that the edges are straight. If I miss your comment, I'll be right back. The crazy weather has you achy, but otherwise you're okay. There's going to be some spotty showers this weekend. Okay. Even though I'm back stitching, I'm going to flip this over and double sew this. So I will be putting two rows of stitches. Do I have a stitch guide on here? No. I've been sewing for over 70 years, and I pretty much know what a 1/4 inch is. I can tell right away if it's off, and it doesn't have to be perfect anyway for this. And even though I sewed it twice, I double, triple, quadruple sewed this because I'm going to sew it, turn it inside out. So now I'm going to sew the other side. So those of you who have quilting frames, long arms, this is how you can make your own weights. Why did I decide on 1 pound? Oh, and I didn't weigh this. You can weigh it if it's that serious, just like you do with your baking. I didn't. I had half-gallon jar full of rice that I had dry canned. I dry can my rice. Why? So that you don't end up with those little black bugs in your rice after a couple of years. And it seals itself. So I had that. I just put these in the bag. So flip this over. Oh, and like I said before, those of you with embroidery machines, you can embroider your name on here. Darth, hello. Thanks for coming and welcome. So now I'm going down the other side. And again, this is just my own personal pattern that I personally made up. But you are all welcome to use it, because why reinvent the wheel? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I will take these really strong chips, and I'm just clipping the corners a little just so that I can turn it inside out. And I'm going to turn this inside out. These jeans are a little bit more, are a little bit stretchy. Everybody's saying hi to Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner. You guys, Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner goes live on every Thursday at 7 p.m. Of course, my younger sister over there, she knows that old girl is up 3 o'clock in the morning, and after I finish my live, I am done. I am done. Now, I turn this inside out, and originally I wanted to sew along this one. You see, I edge stitched it along both sides because I thought it would hold this more centralized. But then I realized that this is a lot of thicknesses and a very thin seam. The sewing machine it's harder to sew on that. So why bother? It's doing what it was meant to do. Deb S., the Pug Quilter Mama, welcome in. I am making weights for my Cutie frame. 1 pound weights. I will also be making my own leaders. I had leaders. This is a repeat, you guys. I had leaders on my long arm machine, and I had some that zipped on. Then I had handy quilter leaders that I pinned on. And let me show you what kind of, so you guys, let me show you what kind of pins I use. When I'm pinning on a long arm, uh, and I use pins, I use these. Isn't this the cutest little pin cushion? Those of you who are artistic, you can take a small flower pot, put some little weights in it, some rocks or something, put a cloth in there, some batting, and then these are real hat pins. These were a little bit expensive. I remember because I bought 2 boxes of these with my long arm. But they're very sharp. They're very sharp, and I'm going to be using a canvas, and they're very long. So when I'm pinning something with these, whether you're quilting or whether I go up and down several times, and you don't have to worry about your pin coming out, and they're very, very strong pins. So those of you who are artistic, PIA, I defy you. She's lost one of her earrings, but that's okay. I have a lot of mismatched ones. I'll put some on there. PIA, Unbiased LLC, all of you who are creative, Sissy, Joanne Stevens, I challenge you to make a custom pincushion. Yankee Sister has one. I broke one of my fancy Limoges bone china teacups, and I hated to throw that thing away. I hated to throw it away. I gave it to Yankee Sister, and I gave it to Yankee Sister, and she put batting inside and cloth, and she made that into a pin cushion. So Deb, as the pug quilter, what we're making are these weighted bags to go over the side of the frame while to hold it still while you're pinning it and pinning your quilt on it. So this is what we're doing. We've turned this inside out, you guys. And Wellness with Frugal Mama. You could use these. You can put beans in it. You can put beans in it. Or I don't know, maybe peas. I don't know how you would get them out. So I'm going to sew a thin line along the bottom just because I like the way this looks and it feels, and it keeps it from spreading out too far. It keeps it tight at the bottom. So you can make yours the way you want to. I actually just made up this pattern. So I'm just doing it the way I think of it. This is what I thought of. And you can change it to suit your own purposes, and it will be helpful. So I'm sewing through 4 little thin seams, and I notice it slowed down, but this is a heavy duty machine, so it sewed through all of it. So that's just a little seam at the bottom. This is a half-pint jar. I didn't weigh my rice. I used a half-pint jar, canning jar, one of my bulk canning jars, and I filled it up to the bottom of the rim, like if you're canning. What's the challenge, Sissy? What are you talking about, Sissy Joanne Stevens? Are you talking about a cooking challenge? I don't know what challenge you're talking about. So this is not a challenge that I'm making here. I'm just making bags to use for whatever you want, whether it's for quilting or for health and fitness. So I put my rice in a little plastic sandwich bag, and I'm going to drop it down the bottom of this little bag I just sewed in front of you. And I'm going to squeeze it down so that it's below this little chalk mark I made. And I didn't sew the seams down the side on this because There's no need to. And I'm making sure all the rice is down there so that I'm not sewing over it and breaking any sewing machine needles. Although I do have a denim needle in my machine. Oh, the pin cushion? Where did I put it? Oh, I challenge you, or I dare you guys to get a terracotta flower pot and paint it and decorate it. You don't have to have raised ones, but you can buy clay and use a little bit of water and stick it. They have modeling clay at the craft stores. You can buy that and make a little nose. You put water on it and it makes its own glue and put it on there and put it in the oven and bake it. It's low firing clay and you can make lips and an ear, or you could just paint it simply on there. It doesn't have to be 3D like this one. It doesn't have to be 3D. And just decorate it and make a pin cushion and put your pins in them, sissy. I like this one because it's heavy and you're not always knocking it over. This is the pin cushion I normally use. This is a wool felted one. Deb S is saying hello to everybody. And one of my quilting friends, I bought this from her, I want to say 15 years ago. And I use it almost every day. And it holds a lot of pins and needles and everything. And it lays flat. That's what I like about that other pin cushion with the flower pot. It sits flat and it's not rolling all around. Oh, challenge accepted. Once you finish quilting. Oh, good, sissy. Oh, good. I'll stick your pins in it when I get there. Okay, so now I'm just sewing across the line in the middle of this weighted rice bag. I'm sewing slowly in some areas. I can feel some of the rice in there has sneaked up there, but that's okay. I figured the plastic bag is going to be annoying me, but not as much as if the bag busted open or I'm sitting up here trying to sew with all the rice in there. So when you stop, you guys, you always make sure this little thingy up here is all the way to the top. When you're stopping, when you're turning, you leave it down. Okay, so now a few stitches forward, a few stitches back, and it may catch the plastic bag underneath it. That's fine. It's fine. It's just a weight to go on top of your quilt, on top of your sewing frame, and if you weren't in the chat or weren't watching Deb S. the Pug Quilter, when I first started long arm quilting, before I made other bags, I just used cans of soup, any canned goods, and had it sitting on top of the quilts. But my long arm frame was 12 feet wide. So here's the bottom part. It's done. So now I try to get all the rice down in one section. I've taken all the air out of the bag and I rolled it up. Miss Shirley, you can use this for a heating pad. A heating pad. So I've got this one down there. And what I'm going to do here, instead of trying to sew rice with rice falling all out, I put the plastic bag. I'm just simply going to sew across here. So away we go. And I'm going to try to make it flat. I'll try to make it 1/4 of an inch. And these will be accessories that I will be using mine for my Cutie frame. Yes, Deb S., I ordered it, and I ordered the side bungee cord. And it should be here by, they said sometime between April 1st and April 4th. They delivered the table a week ahead of time and left it in the lobby. Annoying. Plus, it was heavy and I couldn't bring it up myself. You would use this, Miss Shirley? Yeah, this will hold a lot of rice. And like if you have a toothache or something and you have a cold or your face hurts, you have a headache, you could just lay down and lay it across your forehead. You can use it for whatever you want. So now I'm turning this over, and not only am I going to back stitch the first couple stitches, yay, we're done. So this is a quick little project. And now Auntie Ellen has a set of 4 weights. Mother, these are made out of the leftover jean pieces from your quilt. You see this, you guys? How cute is this? And you see how it'll just hold its weight across here? How you would use it. And that was quick. So now look. And they're not all the same color. Why? Because my jeans, these were different pairs of jeans, most of which were donated. I don't know if I can hold 4 pans up like that. Ta-da-da-da-da. So I'll mix the light ones and the dark ones. So here are my weights. Mother. Oh, Miss Shirley. Maybe Mike's talking to Miss Shirley, Mom. So these are the weights for my Cutie frame. And next Thursday, I will be showing you how I make the leaders from the Cutie frame is 48 inches wide. So I bought a canvas drop cloth, 4 feet wide by 5 inches long. And I will be cutting that up to make 2 sets of leaders. Why 2 sets? Because experience has shown me that when I'm working on a detailed like art quilt and I'm doing a lot of thread painting, that might take a lot of time. Sometimes I might have to take it off the frame and do something else to get paid, and then I go back to the other thing that I was working on. So it's handy to have one or have 2, or maybe one. Some of the fabric, if you're using like a bright red, maybe the color will rub off. Although I personally pre-wash my red fabrics. Do any of you have any questions? Don't forget to put !GQUILT to drop your link so that people can find you. Deb S., I want to get on the, what is it, Flourish, something that you guys do on Monday. I never have my hands free. So when I'm here, I'm either sewing or crocheting or something. So one last look at it. She's got a set of 4 quilting weights. I will put it in the thumbnail, you guys, if you want to see it. Dun, 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 dun. And one of these was, this one was a little bit narrower, but guess what? It is what it is. It will hold my fabric while I'm trying to pin it, right? So, did you guys like this little project? I bring you guys along on things that I'm actually working on. Oh, so coming Saturday, we will be making zucchini nut bread. And I will be doing a drawing for the double-sided, that heavyweight pad. And so long, I only have 5 names on it. All you have to do is bake something in a skillet, hashtag Skillet Challenge 2025. Send me a copy of it, put GQuat. Email me. All of you are not content creators. Email me a photo of it and I will be happy. ARD, I'm so happy to see you. Bruh, I was worried about you. I'm not making a joke out of it. I thought ice might have held you up going in comments and whatnot. Thank you so much, ARD. Where's my little bell? Ring a ling a ling a ling. Oh, duh, right in front of me. Like when I used to couldn't find my glasses and they'd be on top of my head. Thank you, you guys. Everybody give ARD a hand. And he's safe and he's happy and he's with us. We appreciate you. You can use this for therapy to walk or lift weights for the disabled. You can use it and you can make it correct. You can use your scale and weigh it. I just didn't. I just didn't. I did all four of these today. I just thunk of it, I think over the weekend when I actually pushed the button and took it out of my cart. I don't I charge so much stuff on my card. My credit cards are bleeding, you guys. They are bleeding. But I don't have money, but I've retired, I've saved, I've been thrifty, and it only took my credit score down to 794. I don't plan on buying anything anyway, but I didn't plan on buying those. Do any of you have any questions about these things? And you can see like this one is a little wider than this one. It's okay. It's just going over the edge of the frame. And those of you who are getting cutie frames and putting them up, I just want to tell you, don't forget to level your table before you put your frame up there. Ice can't do anything but help you moonwalk. Haha. Thank you. Love and respect, Auntie. Thank you. I was worried about you, ARD. Mother and Gawamote. So hold on, you guys, and watch the outro. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our lovely friends. L, this is a you. This is how you say I love you in American Sign Language. Okay, see you Saturday at 6 p.m., you guys. Thank you for coming. Okay, so where's my outro? Hold on. I always hit the wrong thing. Okay, so it's not going to do it. Hold on. It's not what I meant to do.